afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world, LFC fans. Once again, the boys have done it. January has been a bit of a funny month. Results not necessarily going away, draws from Nottingham Forest, draws to Man United, and really we haven't shown the form that we did other side of Christmas. Um, the good thing is though, we're in the Premier League. And with the Premier League, what you do find is the honesty of a lot of teams. A lot of teams in the Premier League will really, really go for it. The fans won't let them just sit back and not try and get a result. Fans want a result. They want a draw, but going positive, going forward, or win. And I think what you see in this league compared to a lot of other leagues is that honesty reflected in the kind of results we see. Now, look, City, when they're going and winning their four back-to-back, wherever it was, were just pinning these teams and just keeping them on the back foot and just destroying them. And you could almost guarantee that City will beat the lower league teams or lower in the league teams. Whereas Liverpool, generally, we kind of felt we would get results against the bigger teams, but against the smaller teams, we generally tended to drop points. I used to hate it when we played bottom three teams because you're almost guaranteed we would not get a result. We wouldn't turn up. We would have the same energy, same control, domination, etc., and would lose silly games, whether it's at Anfield or whether it's away from home. But yet, we turn up and do really well against the top teams. And this kind of cost us a lot in terms of league runnings, where you look back on points and you're like, we should have got a point there, we've got 3 points there, etc. We've got a team in Nottingham Forest who are really, really showing what the league's about. Showing that if you can get a team together, yes, they've got a bit of money to spend, get a good coach together, a philosophy, a team structure, idea, way of playing, you can get good results. And in a season where City have not been themselves and Arsenal being what we know Arsenal to be, with a Jekyll and Hyde team, we have seen that instability, especially as well with Chelsea. Chelsea sort of showing some really great form and then dropping points. But we've been consistent. And there's been games that's frustrated us. Losing to Nottingham Forest at home was very frustrating. Dropping points to our arch rivals was very frustrating. Dropping points to Nottingham Forest away was frustrating, especially when you look at the domination that we had within the game and the silly goals that we let in. So with this game now, what concerned me was Brentford. It concerned me that we were up against a team who have picked up points from us before, who have a manager who's very honest, has a very honest way of playing, and tries to get the best out of his players, and at times plays quite direct. Although he's trying to change that a little bit away in terms of currently the way they're trying to play, which is a bit more football. So good away record, good. In fact, let's correct that. Good home record. Brentford have. Yes, they had a silly loss to Plymouth, but generally in the league, you don't turn up there and get away scot-free. City turn up there, 2-0 lead, drew 2-2. So when we played them, I was concerned. I felt it could be another of those games. And we hadn't been fully dominating. Players like Gravenberch haven't been really showing the early dominance that he had. Even at times McAllister's not knitting things together. Nunes obviously is an ongoing problem, concern, especially as a Nunes supporter. Find it hard at times to keep protecting and defending a guy when he misses sitters that he shouldn't do. Salah's not been on form in the last 3 odd games, and Gakpo's been doing really well. Diaz, will o' the wisp, sometimes great, sometimes not. And defensively, also we've got Virgil Rock, Kanata's gone back. You can tell little team in Baines to get back to fitness. Robbo's been a concern and Trent's been a concern. So overall, you kind of didn't feel we were in the best place, and kind of you wanted to see where Slot's team is going. Can he keep them going? Can he get the energy out there, the players? Can he get the results now and put these draws and stuff to bed? and again the loss to Tottenham, which is in the cup, was I find a little bit embarrassing, especially looking at form losing to Everton. Could he do it? And the game was another good example of a good Premiership game. The Nottingham Forest game, even though we didn't get the result, you could enjoy that game. And okay, maybe more as a independent who's got no bias within the teams, but even as a Liverpool fan, you could enjoy. We didn't do badly. We played pretty well. We just didn't create enough and take our chances. And Brentford was going the same way. 37 shots, I believe, a Premiership record since they've been making notes of it all, of shots at goal. I will criticise and say maybe the shots weren't really on target as we would expect it. There was a lot of shots that was going here, there, and everywhere, wide and handsome. But I suppose what it showed was we were dominating. Liverpool was dominating, continually being in the box, more touch in the box, more shots outside the box because we were dominating. Every 30 seconds, 40 seconds, we'd have a shot. But then there was a threat. There was a threat from Mbuma and Wissa, and that was a threat that we had to keep an eye on. And at times, only a few minutes in, Damsgaard, they should have scored. It was an open goal, and it should have been a tap-in goal, and it should be another game where we are criticising Liverpool for conceding early. But luckily we didn't. First half, played pretty well. I still feel at times we allowed them to almost build back into a low block when at times we could move the ball a lot faster to break through. So sometimes I look at the way Slot plays it, which is holding the ball at the back and keeping it and getting the press onto them. But at times I feel like we can just move the ball quickly and break through and get our shots in. And it feels sometimes we almost let defences get back into their low block and then just try and move the ball from side to side. First half, shots and goal. I thought Brentford had the best chance, which again said in the first few minutes, didn't take it. Second half, again, pounding the door, getting frustrated with Diaz, not feeling that he's not affecting enough in the game. Gakpo was doing Gakpo things, which, I'll give him credit for. He's been playing really well, a few chances, and, close enough. Salah, again, another game where Potter, I feel, was generally marking out the game, and Salah's been seen to be struggling recently. Again, I don't want to go on too much about transfer talks or about contract talks. It's a concern. We all know we're getting rumours about Salah to potentially Saudi. We're getting rumours that Trent's basically a done deal. We're in January. We should have tied this up already. We should have showed it up. We didn't. We've left ourselves vulnerable, and that is what it will be. But as long as the players turn up, then I'm not going to critique, and Salah's not been performing, but that's just performance. We know Salah's heart is 100% into it. Trent, we know, is a poor performance against United, and he's had a fair bit of criticism, and I think rightfully so. But then you have to look at it and say generally his performances have been better than they were previously, defensively wise. Although we've seen that little errors coming back into his game again, but we know what he does attacking wise. We know how he creates, and in this game, with Núñez having to come on, Chiesa having to come on, Jota injured before and so not available for the game, Diaz off, you kind of felt 85, 86 minutes is going to be one of those games. Frustration seeping in, blocks on the line from Salah, etc., good goalkeeping saves from them, and I just didn't feel it was one of those games that we're going to get that result. It didn't feel like, we're knocking at the door and we're going to get it. Great run on the right side, back 91st minute from Trent. Tries to get a cross in, comes back, gets another cross in, and who is it to finish? Núñez. The world erupted. Quick check to make sure he wasn't offside, because that's what Núñez does. And yes, and it felt so good. It felt so good to see Núñez scoring, getting the claim of the fans, and actually making a difference. Because we know we've got a player, but it's just so frustrating that season in, season out, we keep saying, we know he did, we know he can do it, and he's not showing that finishing, he's not showing that calmness. But that's a lovely finish. And a couple of minutes later, Nunes cut it in from the right hand side, shooting past the keeper, 2-0. Nunes, guaranteed win. And everything's changed. Nunes is the best player now, great striker, etc., etc. We know that's not the case. But what we do know is that we've got a squad where the players who are on the bench at any given moment can make that difference. And we've got a manager who makes the substitutions which can allow us to be in that position to make that difference. Arsenal, 2-0 up, poor result against Villa. But you didn't see the manager trusting his players to make that change. That wouldn't make the difference. Whereas Elliott comes on, Jones comes on for Szoboszlai, who was magnificent again, and he's really showing me that Gerrard-like play, that energy now, showing shots on goal, tackle, and running strength. And now, hopefully, put passing together, we will see that complete player that he can be. But he had a great game. Jones comes on, Elliott comes on, Nunes comes on, and the coach goes and makes that different. He rolls that dice on the roulette wheel, and bush, we get the result. And he ends up scoring. But he shows the depth of his squad, he shows his faith in the players, and players like Nunes, who many have sort of turned their back on now, has shown that he's still got that in him. He can still make that difference. We can still trust him. And so we get the win. And a great win it was. Liverpool now 6 points up in the league with a game in hand. Potentially we can go 9 points up against our rivals. Nottingham Forest, Arsenal, bigger lead against Chelsea, bigger lead against City. We're almost there. If we could have got those better results in the last few games, we would be double digits now and looking at it and really saying, yeah, it's our season. It should be our season. We know this league is competitive. The Premier League does not mess about. Whether you're playing Southampton, Leicester City, or Man United, I can classify down that area, or you're playing Manchester City, you're going to have to turn up. And if you don't turn up, you get done and you lose points. So, season's not done yet. Arne Slot, still doing things. My man of the match has to be Nunes, for he made an effect, he made a difference. But then I'll be fair and say defensively, there's some good players for Brentford. Potter was an example of that. Almost complete lockout of Salah. But Nunes comes on and makes a difference. Well done to Liverpool. Onwards and upwards, and away we go. Thank you. Please like and subscribe and click on notifications and let me know your opinion. Let me know who you started with. Let me know if you've got a different man of the match, what your opinions of Nunes, what your opinions is of Slot, and in terms of what he's doing and whether we're going to win the league. I'm not going to say